Breaking news. Tiny didn't simply appear in court. Like a ticking time bomb, she set it off. Consider this. As rumors of a hidden tape spread like wildfire on social media, the Queen of Atlanta herself stands in front of flashing cameras. But wait, what's on this recording? A studio session that was leaked? A little light shade? No. This type of tape had the power to destroy reputations, split families apart, and make even the most audacious gossip blogs clutch their pearls. The moment the words Shekinah and affair reverberated through the courtroom walls, Tiny burst. Ty is quiet. Shekinah disappeared. The jurors was taken aback. The internet. Oh, turmoil was already erupting on the internet. However, the true query is, was this a pretext or the greatest treachery that goes unnoticed? When their own buddy gets involved, how can a power couple that has been built on years of notoriety and controversy survive? And why does this alleged secret tape seem more like the final nail in the coffin for Tiny's empire and T.I. than a rumor? The events that transpired in that courtroom were more than simply a scandal, so pay close attention. You will never forget the type of implosion that occurred. Let's not mince words. Tiny wasn't just another filthy star who had a meltdown in court. Headline. The headline said so. Such enough to cause even TMZ to pause and double-check its sources. The sort of scandal that, before noon, takes over Twitter, transforming whispers into roars and roars into hashtags. Let's go back in time. In this small soap opera gone nuclear, who are the players? The singer, reality TV star, Tamika, Tiny Harris, and the woman who miraculously survived one of the most contentious marriages in hip-hop history are all included. Next, among them are rapper, entrepreneur, and frequent headline creator Clifford Ty Harris, and of course Tiny's old pal Shekinah Joe, who is famous for using Instagram Live to vent like it's an Olympic sport. When you combine the three, fame, treachery, and hidden recordings, you end up with a controversy that's sizzling than July asphalt in Atlanta. The murmurs began faintly. One mysterious post, one dubious subtweet. Not every friend is a friend. Tiny posted once and then an emoji of a broken heart. Though no one gave it any thought, fans conjectured that it was about Shekinah. Until the purported tape came to light, that is. There was more to the alleged secret tape than mere rumors. It purportedly featured T and Shekinah in scenarios that couldn't be explained away as amicable, according to unidentified sources who read people who enjoy messy group discussions. We're discussing hotel lobbies at midnight, receipts from upscale meals, and voice messages that were inadvertently leaked and sounded a bit too personal. The worst part is that no enemy released the tape. Not at all. Rumor has it that it was directly from a member of Tiny's inner circle, a Louboutin's Judas. And Tiny lost her temper when that recording was brought up in court. She yelled instead of just crying. She didn't simply lose it. She called out to the whole courtroom, "Do you all find this amusing? Do you think I didn't anticipate this?" Her voice reportedly reverberated across the courtroom as she yelled. According to witnesses, she was shaking and gripping her lawyer's arm as if the walls were collapsing. According to some, she even yelled Shekinah's name in front of the judge. Within minutes, the controversy became viral on the internet. At the same time, hashtags like AHA's Tiny Breakdown, Shekinah Exposed, and Hot Tip Betrayal were popular. Fans licked their chops as gossip bloggers bombarded Instagram comments with snake emojis. Like ravenous wolves. This is where it becomes twisted, though. The marriage between Ty and Tiny has been sucked under the rug before. Not to mention the cheating allegations in 2016, when T was purportedly seen at a Los Angeles bar with an Instagram beauty whose sole purpose appeared to be ruining marriages. Or the allegations of improper conduct at their house in 2021. Accusations that damaged their reputation and almost resulted in the cancellation of their reality program. Each and every time Tiny stood by her man, faithful, quiet in public, broken in private. However, this was no anonymous Instagram model. This was her pal Shekinah, the woman who ate at her table, sat in her living room, and professed to protect her from the outside world. How in the world do you think about that? Knowing that the betrayal originated internally rather than externally, how do you sit in a trial looking at attorneys and going through exhibits? Inside sources. According to the courtroom, T shuffled uneasily and whispered to his attorneys when the tape was brought up. Shekinah, however, failed to appear at all. Rather, she shared a mysterious Instagram tale. The noisy one is always held responsible. Just those words and a laughing emoji were displayed on a black screen. The boldness. The general public loved it. Shekinah was losing supporters who had previously cheered her on for her ridiculous behavior. That's not how you treat your best friend.
There was one comment,
Another went farther. Shekinah was always envious. She now wants to take her man with her after Tiny gave her influence. Horrible. Wait till you learn about the alleged receipts that are circulating, though, if you thought the online drama was chaotic. According to leaked text exchanges, T and Shekinah were planning late-night meetings. "Keep it low-key," was one of T's purported messages. Shekinah also said, "I'll be there. Don't trip. Just don't let her find out. You know how she is. Don't bring your phone." Could these texts be phony? Of course, they most likely are in reality. But perception is reality in the realm of celebrity rumors. Furthermore, it is currently believed that Shekinah betrayed Tiny in the most heinous manner imaginable. Theories were rife on blogs. According to others, Shekinah had always admired Tiny's wealth and way of life. Others claimed that Ty had used both women as props, using them against one another to boost his own ego. Some even implied that the recording was a ruse. That perhaps, just possibly, Tiny planted it herself in order to ultimately catch Ty in his own deception. Take a moment to consider that. What if Tiny was aware from the start? What if this was a master plan rather than a breakdown? The ultimate form of retaliation, disguised as heartache. The scenario in the courtroom was compared to a film. Tiny's attorneys going through evidence folders, reporters scrawling notes as if their pens were on fire, and the judge slamming down the gavel. Insiders said that as T sat there looking serious, his leg was jumping beneath the table. He's had a nervous twitch for years. The public was chanting outside the courthouse in the meanwhile. Chanting, indeed. Supporters had assembled with placards that read "Justice for the Little Ones" and "Reveal the Snakes." Some blasted T's previous songs on speakers, substituting memes about cheating for the words, while others posted videos of women yelling, "We stand with Tiny." This was only the beginning of the wild, explosive, and unstoppable energy. Because the dominoes were already arranged outside the courtroom where Tiny was collapsing. Social media was a flurry of activity. Family members were taking sides. Additionally, bloggers were being contacted by anonymous sources with tales they had been eager to share for years. The recording was no longer the only aspect of the scandal. It was about the very empire Tiny and Ty had created together, as well as loyalty and treachery. Would the entire house of cards collapse as a result of this crack? Keep an eye out because the events that followed that courtroom explosion not only damaged but completely destroyed the internet. The chaos in the courtroom was only the catalyst. Outside the boundaries, there was a blaze that nobody could put out, not even Tiny, could have foreseen herself. Social media was already overflowing with hashtags, memes, and conspiracy theories that might rival any Netflix documentary series by the time Tiny exited the courthouse, accompanied by her legal team and security. Videos of the courtroom leak were all over Twitter, or let's be honest, X. According to one recording purportedly taken on a phone, Tiny's precise comments were captured. "She stabbed me in the back with my own fork after I fed and dressed her." Is it dramatic? Indeed, correct? Most likely not. Going viral? Of course. The memes appeared instantly. In one, Shekinah's head was adhered to a clown suit, and T's face was photoshopped onto a snake writhing around a microphone. In just 12 hours, another popular TikTok with over 2 million views used Barbie dolls to play out the purported tape. The internet wasn't merely giggling, though. Unidentified sources began to emerge from the woods. Similar to roaches in a budget hotel. All of a sudden, everyone had a story about Shekinah, Tiny, or Ty. One insider whispered to a podcast, "The tape wasn't leaked," while another told a gossip blog, "This ain't new. Ty been messing with Shekinah for years, Tiny knew." She just didn't want to believe it. The item was sold. Someone within their social circle made a profit. To whom was it sold? This is where the phony investigative element enters the picture. The tape was allegedly being sold to Atlanta insiders for 6 figures for weeks, and one purported email leak even revealed negotiations between the broker and an anonymous gossip website with the subject line, "Atlanta Royalty Falls exclusive content package." Of course, none of this could be confirmed, but that's the great thing about scandal culture. You don't need evidence. You simply need buzz, and that's precisely what T and Shekinah had done. Shekinah, meantime, was stoking the flames by going live on Instagram while sitting in her car with her lashes done and her nails tapping against the steering wheel. "Y'all always believe the lies," she cackled. "They are upset with me because I don't hesitate to tell the truth. No one is going to stop me." For a period, the fans didn't believe it. The comments came pouring in. "You're guilty, girl. This is your way of paying Tiny back for putting you on. Sis, you've been envious. Now we can see it. After someone responded, so where's the tape then? Suspicious much? And what about T? She immediately halted her live stream by logging out. He attempted to act calm by posting a mysterious comment on his own Instagram. With a smile selfie attached, the devil got busier, but rather than soothing the storm, it only made people more irate. Gaslighting 101. Another admirer said, "Classic TI move." But hold on, things get worse. False invoices began to circulate like wildfire. Screenshots of purported TI to Shekinah bank transfers. $10,000 there, $5,000 here, referred to as consulting. What precisely are you consulting? No one was aware. The claimed voice notes followed a text overlay meme that read, "If your man paying his friend this much, sis, he cheating. You know, we gotta keep this quiet. She's already suspicious. Don't post anything dumb." A 40-second audio recording was released by an enigmatic Twitter account, in which a male voice that sounded suspiciously like T.I. stated, "Boy, please. I don't care about her feelings no more." The internet went crazy. The clip was analyzed by fans as if it were the Zapruder movie. Some people insisted it was real. Some claimed it was artificial intelligence. Even though one tech YouTuber posted a video demonstrating that it had been altered, it was irrelevant by that point. The damage was already done. Meanwhile, she became a martyr thanks to tiny admirers. Her devotion over the years was commended in Twitter threads, which reminded everyone of the times she supported TI despite gun accusations, cheating scandals, and even federal inquiries. Fans now portray her as the sad queen who was deceived by both her closest friend and her husband. In Atlanta, street murals began to appear, with Tiny's visage crowned in gold and the words, "Loyalty ain't a game," spray-painted underneath. Tiny became a symbol of victimhood and bravery as pictures of these murals went viral. However, we must not overlook the negative aspects. Whether authentic or fake, the audio raised suspicions of more widespread wrongdoing within TI's empire. Bloggers said his financial history was suspicious, that his meetings for work were really a front for something else. There were more ladies on several cassettes, according to some, who even went so far as to claim that Shekinah wasn't the only one. From a scandal, the plot developed into a full-fledged conspiracy. Was friendship, love, and treachery at play here? Or did it have to do with control, money, and power? The public's response was harsh. Comment sections become battlefields. Team Shekinah versus Team Tiny. Strangely, some followers even backed TI by saying that he was only acting like a guy. Others retorted, "Being a man doesn't mean being a snake." Tiny's daughter Zanique's Instagram post was the most startling. The internet was rocked by her single words, "Y'all don't even know half of what my mama been through. She deserves better. Way better." Her comments were inundated by fans, with sympathy as well as support, realizing that the issue was tearing a family apart in real time and wasn't simply about rumor. The mainstream media had taken notice by now. A CNN segment about celebrity betrayal in the social media era was shown. Late-night comedians made jokes about Tip and Tiny becoming tragic and turning into tape. "This is what happens when you let clout chasers into your castle," said Wendy Williams, the replacement host, in a monologue. The backlash was financial as well as online. Sponsors were reportedly withdrawing from TI's planned projects. According to reports, Shekinah lost a brand agreement with a wig manufacturer. Additionally, Tiny remained utterly mute, which only served to increase her perceived authority in the story. However, being quiet can be risky because new rumors were created in the void. The IRS's name began to appear on gossip sites, along with rumors of lawsuits and criminal investigations. Would a tape leak of an "Did the affair truly draw federal attention?" Yes, in the realm of scandals, as the other dominoes fall quickly after the first one. The public received more than just entertainment. They had a stake. This was no longer mere rumors. The audience demanded blood because it was a narrative and a betrayal so profound it felt Shakespearean. They were unaware, however, that the fallout was only beginning. Because if you thought the public's response to Tiny's courtroom explosion was explosive, wait until listen to what happened next. The investigations, the lawsuits, and the internal collapse of the empire. As the smoke began to clear, the question was not whether or not lives would alter, but rather how many. By the time part 2 of this story unfolded, Tiny's courtroom explosion had set off a chain reaction that had left the entire empire in ruins. The lawsuits came first. No one could verify the exclusive court documents that were making the rounds online, but everyone. When it was reposted, Tiny's legal team was preparing to bring 3 lawsuits. One against the enigmatic tape broker for violation of privacy, one against Shekinah for emotional harm, and one against T.I. for marital misconduct. It was dubbed the litigation trifecta by gossip blogs. "This isn't just about love, it's about money," a whispered anonymous insider said. Tiny isn't playing. She's protecting her bag before the empire falls apart. And to be honest, can you blame her? However, the legal drama didn't end there. After the tape scandal revealed suspicious transfers, rumors circulated that the Fulton County DA had opened a preliminary investigation into T.I.'s finances. What started out as a cheating allegation quickly transformed into rumors of tax evasion, fraud, and potential racketeering. The internet was booming, with hashtags like Artifi and Sheikah under oath trending for days. Memes appeared showing T in an orange jumpsuit, photoshopped behind bars, and Shekinah sobbing in a courtroom. Fans quipped, "Tiny about to turn this into Law and Order ATL edition," wearing a lace front wig. But it wasn't all a joke. The emotional toll was devastating. According to reports, Tiny had stopped filming her reality shows, canceled appearances, and remained behind closed doors. She didn't look like the glamorous star fans were used to, as seen in paparazzi photos wearing oversized hoodies and sunglasses covering her face. One tabloid splashed the headline, "Queen betrayed, Tiny and hiding." Meanwhile, Ty tried damage control. He allegedly held a family meeting at his mansion, trying to smooth things over with his kids. But according to yet another source, the meeting didn't go well. One of his sons allegedly told him, "We ain't stupid, Dad, the blogs are visible to us." Fans referred to the children as the actual Harris family members after reading the line, which went viral. In a tearful Instagram live, Shekinah sobbed, saying, "You guys act like I'm the devil. I didn't force anybody to do nothing. They're using me as the scapegoat because I'm easy to blame." Despite the tears, viewers claimed to have caught her making a mistake, and at one point she muttered, "I told him not to let it get recorded." Shekinah, delete this before the lawyers download. The case was closed. The fallout was not only emotional, but also financial. Sponsorships fell like flies. A sneaker brand canceled their deal with T.I., issuing a statement. "We stand against betrayal and dishonesty." That one phrase was clipped, replayed, remixed, and turned into TikTok audios. The comments were vicious. Then came the protests. Yes, real protests outside an Atlanta courthouse, with fans holding signs that read, "Justice for Tiny" and "Stop protecting cheaters." And one group even staged a mock trial on the courthouse steps with someone dressed as T.I., wearing a fake crown labeled King of Betrayal. Shekinah's partnership with a beauty line was reportedly canceled due to concerns about brand image. And even Tiny's projects, despite the fact that she was the victim, were delayed while networks discussed whether the drama was too toxic for advertisers. Just when you thought the scandal could get any darker, another leak surfaced. This time an alleged audio recording of Tiny and Ty fighting in their home. The voices argued about loyalty, betrayal, and that girl. At one point, the female voice, who was allegedly Tiny, screamed, "You embarrass me in front of the world." The clips were funny, but they were also telling. "You think you're perfect?" The male voice shot back. "Don't pretend that you don't have any secrets either." And secrets? Conspiracy theorists went crazy after just that line. Were Tiny's skeletons her own? Was this entire saga more difficult than the tale of devoted wife versus adulterous husband? For days, the internet argued and conjectured that Tiny might have her own side drama, but it didn't change the sympathy. Fans were firmly on her side. Tiny, who was now known as the tragic queen of Atlanta, had become more well-known than the scandal itself. Cardi B tweeted, "A friend ain't no friend if she plotting what yo man." And all of a sudden, Tiny was a symbol of tenacity. However, T.I. wasn't so fortunate. By this point, his sponsors had left, his reputation was in ruins, and rumors of investigations were too loud to ignore. One blogger even asserted that the IRS had liens on his properties, which, whether true or not, thrilled fans. One comment read, "Karma got better aim than T.I. in a scandal," and Shekinah. She emerged as the most popular villain on the internet, shown in memes as the Judith of Atlanta. Her DMs were reportedly full of insults, threats, and snake emojis, and a viral TikTok trend had people lip-syncing her teary live and making fun of her excuses. The culmination of this story was when Tiny finally spoke up, posting a statement video while sitting in a velvet chair and dressed entirely in black. Calm, composed, and devastating, "I gave my loyalty to people who didn't deserve it. I stood by when I mic'd stop." That video received millions of views in hours, and fans showered the comments with hearts, crowns, and the word queen. Even celebrities like Candy Burris and Monica offered their support. Tiny wasn't just surviving, She was rewriting the rules. Should have walked away, but no more. Because scandals don't really end in today's world. They just fade into the next viral moment. This one carved itself into ATL history. But here's the real kicker, the question that still lingers. Will T.I. and Tiny divorce? Will Shekinah face legal repercussions? Will the so-called secret tape ever fully surface? Or was it all smoke and mirrors? Here we are, Tiny blew up in court. A tape purportedly exposed betrayal. Ty's empire is collapsing. Shekinah is the new villain on the internet, and fans are left taking sides as if it were the season finale of some perverse reality show. The truth is, however, that we might never know the whole truth. And that's the beauty of scandals like this one. They continue to shape our perceptions of these celebrities through whispers, memes, and hashtags. I ask you, who's really at fault here? Is Ty the master manipulator or just another man trapped in his own ego? Is Shekinah the snake everyone portrays her as? Or was she simply dragged into a circus? Tiny may rebuild, Ty may battle his demons, and Shekinah may attempt to spin her story, but none of them will ever be able to escape the shadow of that tape. If you think this scandal was crazy, wait until you see what we've got next. This is Gossip Spill Vibe, the only channel brave enough to spill it all with no filter, no mercy, and no loyalty to anyone but the truth. So, hit the like button, subscribe for the next shocking revelation, and remember, Tiny, tragic queen, or silent strategist who finally pulled the trigger on her own revenge.